Hi, speakers. It's 11 o'clock in Las Vegas right now, and we're going to get started in just a minute. I appreciate that you're taking time out of your day to join me. So I want to make sure that we are done in an hour or less. I hope you have your action guide, your Insider Secrets action guide. The URL on the PowerPoint is not a live hyperlink. If you're watching this, if you're with us live, there's a link at the top of the chat bar, a hyperlink that just click on that. It'll give you your action guide. And if you're watching this on replay, you can just go to lvcsb.com/is-action guide and download your action guide. This is for your benefit, the action guide. It's not anything that you need to share with us here in the webinar. It's for you to get really clear on your goals, what you want to achieve as a speaker. What I'm going to share today is really going to blow your mind. I think it's perfect if you're just starting out as a speaker, or if you've been speaking for a few years and you're still struggling, you're not making all the money you want, if you're not where you think you should be at this point. So let's get started right away, okay? Most people, most experts become motivational speakers because they have an important message to share. So I am thinking if you're here with us today, it's because you have an important message to share. So let's start with a quick poll. And if you're watching on replay, of course, you're not going to see the chat bar, so you won't be able to take part in the poll. But write down on your notes, what is your financial goal for speaking? Are you looking to gain financial independence or supplement your income? Or merely to define yourself as the leading expert in your field? Because here's the thing, if you define yourself as the leading expert in your field, it will have a direct impact on the amount of money you're able to make and charge when you go out. So that's how we find speakers through the Bureau, is we're looking for the top speakers who rank the highest on Google, and then I look at their videos and so on. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So be clear on this. What is your financial goal for speaking? If you want to just supplement your income and you speak once a month, that's great. If you want to be a full-time speaker and have financial independence from speaking, that's fantastic too. How many gigs a month do you need? What kind of fee for it? So when we talk about what you want to earn from speaking, if you've already been paid to speak, and this is at the very top of your first page of fill-in on pages that you can write on in your action guide. So I want you to write down, what is the top fee? If you've been paid to speak already, what's the top fee you earned last year? Was it $1,500, $5,000, $10,000? And write that down. And then what do you want your top fee to be this year? Because you're not going to get there unless you're very clear on what it is that you want to earn. So put it down. And if it's, 20 grand, put down 20 grand. If you want, it would be happy making 5 grand as your top fee or 10 grand. That's absolutely doable. So write that down. Then put down what was your average fee last year. Now to figure out your average fee, you have to count, add up how many gigs you had and include the free ones. That cuts it in half usually. If you did 5 paid gigs and 5 free gigs, well, then it's half of whatever you got paid on your 5 gigs. And then determine what you want your average fee to be this year in 2018, or whenever you're watching this. If you're watching it on replay, it could be 2020, right? So figure out what you want your average fee to be this year. We all get asked to speak for free. There's no shame in that. I'm going to show you how to really monetize those non-paid gigs and make them the best paying gigs you've ever had. Then how much did you earn last year total, and how much do you want to earn this year total? When you get clear on this, then it's really easy to see what is the gap and determine if you're ready to close it, because this is how we move forward. This is how we achieve our goals. We know where we are, we know where we want to be, and we see the difference. Insider Secrets tip number 1, and this is on your action guide as well. Your dream can come true. You can achieve financial freedom as a speaker. You just need to take the time to understand how the expert industry works to discover the keys to achieving all you want. And when I say expert industry, I mean the speaking and publishing industries. When you're an expert and you're defining yourself by your published works or by your presentations. When we define financial freedom, what does it mean to you? I have another poll for this. We're just going to skip over it because I just want you to write down on your notes, What would financial freedom mean to you? Is it having all the money you want? Having the free time to enjoy it? I think so, because one without the other is useless. And whether you want the money to do what you want to do and have the free time to pursue passion projects, how about spend more time with your family, spend more time traveling? If you're a speaker, you can travel as part of your work. It's crazy. I mean, this is the most ideal job for you. I remember when I decided to become a writer, I thought, my goodness, you can do it from wherever you have your laptop. And it was back when portable laptops were like 14 pounds, but oh my goodness, they were so much better than, the desktops. And now they're, a pound or two, so you can take them anywhere. So it gives you that kind of freedom in life, which is what we're going for. In my first movie, The Keeper of the Keys, Jack Canfield says, when your vocation feels like a vacation, you have arrived. You might have heard it said in a different way, which is, when you do what you love, you never work another day in your life. Imagine earning $5,000, $10,000, or even $25,000 for a 1-hour presentation. And then think about what just a few gigs each month could mean to your financial bottom line per year. I have booked speakers for more than $30,000 an hour, which it's not even really an hour. They speak for about 45 to 50 minutes and a little time for Q&A, and off they go. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, you can do this. It's not hard. You just have to know what you're doing. That's where the challenge comes in. Now, Insider Secrets was made for you if you have an important message to share, which I think we've established you're here because you have an important message to share. You want to distinguish yourself from the crowded field of general speakers. And I'll get into the different types of speakers in just a little bit. You want to become the leading expert in your field. You want to earn thousands every time you speak and have high recurring income too. I'm going to show you how to do that. You want to influence and help others and fulfill your potential. You want to discover how the speaking industry really works so you can monetize it, of course, and you're ready to start getting paid to speak. Not everybody wants to get paid to speak, but if you want to get paid to speak, I'm going to show you how to do it. Course is not for you if you don't want to leverage your passion, your experience, or your message to earn an incredible income and lifestyle, or you're happy speaking for free. It's a fun hobby for you. And for a speaker who wants to get paid to speak, I know that's almost incomprehensible, but I met a guy once who had been going to the same Toastmasters meeting for 26 years. He owned an insurance company. He loved to speak in front of his peers and friends, and he probably spoke a little bit professionally, but never for money. He would stand up at a Rotary meeting and speak, but he went to Toastmasters for 26 years, never wanted to get paid to speak. So a lot of consultants and coaches speak as a means of driving business clients to their business. And so there are a lot of different reasons why you want to speak, and there are different ways to monetize your speaking. And we'll cover a little bit of that too. There I am speaking at Meeting Professionals International up in Edmonton, Canada, in front of a group of meeting planners, which is great. I can always promote the Speakers Bureau whenever I'm booked to speak. Speaking is one of the highest paid professions today. There is no limit to what you can make. But the sad truth is that often, in spite of standing ovations and accolades, most speakers don't earn enough money to put gas in their car to get home. They never discover how to monetize their speaking careers. So let's find out why. You'd never try to fly an airplane without first taking flying lessons, would you? Let me say that again. You would never try to fly an airplane without first taking flying lessons. The controls in the cockpit of a jetliner are mind-boggling. There is no button to take off or land. There are all kinds of levers and switches, and you would want to have flying lessons before doing that. And yet, every day, people with a message to share decide they're going to become authors or speakers. I did. I know everybody does. You have a message, so you're going to write a book. And this is the first step in struggling, is really not understanding that it's an industry. It's an innocent enough mistake. I'm very sympathetic toward it. People who love to speak and share their message want to speak and become paid speakers, and people who have a message they want to share do everything they can to write a book. And unfortunately, writing the book is putting you in the starting gate. Most people, by the time they finish writing their book, it's hard to do if you're doing something else for a living. But if you are writing a book to share your message, you want to be able to figure out how to monetize it, to get that book out, all your hard work. And writing the book is really the starting point, not the finish line. So I believe in not wasting your time. This is a no BS webinar. You know what BS stands for, right? I don't have to say that. I have a lot of friends in the industry who say, oh, I attended this webinar. It took an hour, but it's okay. I got one nugget. If I get one nugget, it's worth it. Well, I don't believe in that. I don't have an hour to learn one nugget. So I really have a lot of tips in this for you. I hope you stay till the end. It's really fun. And I'm going to share incredible secrets and insights about the speaking industry that took me nearly 10 years to learn and more than $100,000 to learn it all. And I hear from speakers all the time who have spent tens of thousands of dollars to learn how to monetize their message. I'm telling you, I have a wonderful new program. Webinars like this, free webinars, are always promoting something, and I'm no different. I have Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. This is the introduction to Insider Secrets free webinar, but I want to share enough with you so that you have a better grasp on the industry, and it will really help you. I don't want you to have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to learn what I'm going to share. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how the speaking industry really works. And I'm going to share 10 Insider Secrets tips with you, including the biggest mistakes that most speakers make, the importance of a powerful platform. I'll tell you what a platform is and what you need and how you get one. How to do what the wealthy speakers do, which is always fabulous. And the 3 different types of speakers. Did you even know there were 3 different types of speakers? And what every speaker should know about the speaking industry before struggling one more day. I'm going to share insider secrets turning 6 figures and how you can make more money in one day than you ever thought possible. And when we're done here, I'm going to go live on camera to answer any questions you have. I know a lot of speakers have these and they're all recorded and automated. Of course, if you're watching it in the replica replay, you won't be able to, but you have my email right here in the chat bar, and I'll put it on a super at the end of this, Robin@lvcsb.com, Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau.com. I try to be as accessible as possible. In Insider Secrets, I have a lot of one-on-one time and tips, and I answer my emails. So if you sign up for Insider Secrets, you know that you have access to me. And I really don't know any other speaker that is doing that. They do get to where everything is automated, and I will eventually get there. But I just launched this, so I'm here. So that means that space is limited because I only have so many hours in a week to help everybody. But I will tell you this, if I can do it, so can you. It's not that easy, and you can benefit from my experience. Stay tuned. Like I said, I have an amazing opportunity for speakers, writers, and experts that could change your life. This is a game-changing webinar. I'm so excited to share the information with you. All right, back to your action guide. Insider Secrets tip number 2, you want to write this down. You have to establish your credibility. Whenever you're speaking or writing, that's why the jacket or the back cover of a book tells a little bit about you, because you want to share, you want to establish your credibility. You want to write down, you want to share, either write down in a book, or if you're speaking to a group, why should people listen to you? What have you done, right? What's your platform? Why should they buy your book? Why should they hire you as a coach, a consultant, a speaker, or a writer? And this is so important. If you've been to a networking event and you see this guest speaker sitting all alone, the board of directors is scrambling all around the room doing their work, and here's this poor speaker all alone. But after everyone knows who the speaker is and what they've done, and now you have their credibility, there's a line of people who want to talk to the expert. And so if you're ever at a networking event, go up to the guest speaker and start a conversation with them. They'll be glad to have someone to talk to. But you really want to establish your credibility. So let me start with that. Here's why I can help you. In 2006, more than 10 years ago, I founded the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. lvcsb.com. If you haven't been on the website yet, check it out. Las Vegas, can you guess how many square feet of convention space we have? Well, the last time I looked, and it's probably changed since then, is 11 million square feet of meeting space, conference, convention, the Sands Expo, the Mandalay Bay Events Center, the Las Vegas Center. We have a lot of meeting spaces, and those conventions need to hire speakers. So as president of the LVCSB, today I regularly get to work with those speakers. I used to only read their books or see them on television. Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Captain Jim Lovell from Apollo 13. I booked him for $35,000. John Assaraf, Brian Tracy. I mean, Brian's a $35,000 speaker. He's awesome. Jack Canfield and Brian and John have been in my movies. So, and that's coming up next. These are my books. I wrote The Art of the Business Lunch, Building Relationships Between 12 and 2. It's won so many awards and it's in 12 languages. I got to do interviews with all these international media outlets and more. I contributed to Chicken Soup for the Wine Lover's Soul. Great tie into the business lunch. People want to know if they can drink when they're out with clients. I've contributed to anthologies, and I published The Power of the Platform, an anthology series that was anchored by Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and Les Brown. So I have this body of work. I'm so proud of it. And I just want you to know why I believe I can help you, because I've done it all already. Most recently in 2011, I started making self-help movies with these amazing stars, the thought leaders, the top thought leaders in our industry. They trust me with their reputations, so you can too. The other experts in the movies gain success by association, which is pure marketing gold. When I did my first anthology, I had The Art of the Business Lunch on a table next to this anthology, and people would pick up the anthology that had Brian Tracy and Jim Rohn and John Assaraf and all these other, Bob Proctor, all these other recognized speakers. And here's this book that took me 20 years of research and 5 years to get published. And the anthology took like 3 months. And they said, oh my God, you're in a book with all these people? They couldn't even believe it. So I sold a lot more of those than my own book that was really challenging to get written and published. So that kind of success by association is really golden. That's enough about me. That's more than enough about me. But I want you to understand that I know what I'm talking about. I have that 30,000 foot view. I started as an author, then I started speaking, and then I launched the Bureau. So I've seen it from the meeting planner standpoint, perspective, and I've seen it as an author and a speaker. So I really know what authors and speakers are going through. So I want you to feel comfortable asking me anything about the industry. I should be able to answer it for you. I've been at it a while. Okay, Insider Secrets tip number 3, and this is on your action guide. Again, it's lvcsb.com/is-action guide. You want to avoid these professional speakers' mistakes and misconceptions. Most speakers make every mistake in the book. I know I did that. I think that's really why I'm so passionate about helping other speakers avoid these mistakes. They don't understand how the speaking industry really works, and they rely on fee-based gigs. I'll tell you what that is in a minute if you don't know. They create and try to sell the wrong products. That's probably, I don't know, that's a toss-up between the number 1 and number 2 top mistakes they make. And then they don't understand how really easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak. Success as a speaker is not just about being a great presenter. Being a great presenter absolutely helps if you can tell a great story, but it's really about understanding how the business works. So I think you're starting to get that now, because I've said it about 20 times already. If you're going to succeed, you really have to know how to do it. I've uncovered so many serious problems. First off, most speaker training programs fail to address how the industry actually works. You could have a dynamite program and still struggle to make ends meet. Speaking is a very crowded field. Industry experts are often willing to speak for free. So what's an industry expert? An engineer, a doctor, someone who has specialized information, specialized knowledge, which you have to have, and they're attending a conference anyway. Meeting planners discovered a while ago that if they get industry experts to speak, they don't have to pay a speaker. So how do you pay your mortgage if they ask you to speak for free? It's hard for paid speakers to do that. If you're not, I don't care about going to attend a medical conference. I care about getting paid to speak at a medical conference. So keep that in mind. Plus, there are countless experts speaking on the very same topic. So the question becomes, how can you and your message stand out to achieve your financial goals? Using myself as an example again, if you need training for a sales team, I can show you how breaking bread, the business lunch, will help your team to build better, long-lasting, productive, profitable relationships. But I also speak on networking. So if you want someone to do the art of the business lunch, I'm your girl. I trademarked the queen of the business lunch. But if you want a speaker on networking, and I'm putting my hat in the ring for that, I know that I'm up against at least 1,000 other speakers who speak on networking. A lot of speakers speak on networking. So it becomes a very crowded field. So how to stand out and how you and your message can stand out, you really have to create your topic, turn it into a hot topic, and then dominate it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Most speaker training isn't even about how to monetize your speaking career. In fact, at a typical speaker training event, you'll have a program with 5, 10, 20 speakers taking the platform, and they'll talk about how to create products, how to position yourself, how to package your products, social media, social networking, how to do an interview, what color to wear, all kinds of crazy things that aren't going to put money in your pocket. Then they might promise how to get hired by particular groups like colleges or women's groups, and then a host who will help you see the possibilities. And sometimes they sell a package for as much as $10,000, or each expert is selling something from $500 to $1,000 to $2,500. And I can tell you, I've heard it all before. And I know because I talked to all my speakers with the Bureau, what training have you had? Did you get a lot out of it? What worked? What was worthwhile? And so far, I had one person tell me they got something out of the same course that 5 other people told me they didn't get anything out of it. So that's what, I try to be as candid as possible about what kind of training works and what doesn't. And I can tell you most of this training does not work. The people really, it sounds glossy. They buy the packages and then they don't understand how it works. So I'm trying single-handedly to change the industry and really empower you so you can understand how the speaking industry works. This is one of the most confusing aspects about it. So most speakers rely on fee-based speaking engagements, like when a speakers bureau calls you. And the problem with this is when a meeting or a speakers bureau calls you and says, hey, Bob, we have a budget of $2,500 and we're going to do an event over at the MGM Grand. Would you be interested in speaking? Can you speak for us? And Bob's fee is $5,000. Well, now Bob is letting a client determine what he's worth. It's okay to do that if they'll let you sell from the platform. Usually they won't because they're afraid it's going to be just an hour of pitch, you pitching your products. But if you can sell from the platform, it might be worth taking it. I would do it if it's local. I did a few months ago, I went over to Planet Hollywood for $2,500, even though my fee is $10,000 because, hey, it's $2,500. But you're allowing someone else to say what you're worth. And that's not good. I'll get you to where you can speak for free and make more money than relying on a fee. And that's what it takes to really succeed. You have to build your platform to have your success. So what is a platform and why do you need one? It's what people are saying about you. It's the credentials I shared at the beginning of this webinar about myself. You should be able to do that. Where have you been published? Do you have a best-selling book? Are you a best-selling author? Are you an award-winning speaker? Have you won competitions? It's your accomplishments. It's your designations. Are you a certified speaking professional? Do you have other certifications? Are you a certified financial planner? All the designations you can put after your name, any distinctions, any awards you've won, and basically your achievements. How long have you been doing it? I've been a speaker for 10 years. I've done this. I've done that. You want to be able to establish your platform because what it will mean to your career as a speaker, more money and more gigs. And that's why having a great platform. And I remember when I started speaking, I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to have a TV interview that I could post on my website, which I finally got after about, 2 years of doing it. I'm on MSNBC. It was the day they arrested O.J. Simpson. So it aired 3 times. It was supposed to air every hour all day, but you never know. You pray for a slow news day when you're on the news. So anyway, it makes a big difference. It looks like, it makes you look like you know what you're doing. And this is what we need to do. And it does take time to know what you're doing, and you will get there. So here's another poll. Have you ever Googled yourself? If not, write this down on your action guide. A little note, remember to Google yourself, because my options on this are, if you're watching on replay, are yes, and the results were impressive, or yes, and I didn't come up, or you came up maybe halfway down page 2 on Google, or no, you haven't done it yet. Well, you need to Google yourself. And the way you come up on page 1 is by setting yourself on fire. When I need a speaker for a client, I look at the LVCSB site first. Do I have anyone who's a leadership speaker at $5,000? Probably not. Leadership speakers usually charge a lot more because they're leaders, or they have some great background working for a huge chain or a big Fortune 500 company. So you want to be able to come up on page 1 of Google. You can see I have I come up, on Google page 1. Even the first listing is for me. The second listing is for me. The third listing is for me. The fourth, the fifth, the sixth, they're all mine. I dominate page 1 if you're searching those keywords. I also set the LVCSB on fire. You see an ad for Zappos up there, but if you're looking for convention speakers in Las Vegas, there's the first organic listing is my website at lvcsb.com. And then one of the subcategories, which is certified convention speakers. I represent those. So you want to be able to come up on Google page 1, and you can do that by sending press releases, by inward bound links, by outward bound links, and by blogging and contributing to magazines and getting your name out there. Really, it takes a little while, but you should be able to show up decently on page 1, and that's where I'll find you if you're not on my bureau. Now, remember I talked about building your brand, and this is Insider Secrets tip number 4. You never want to call yourself a specialist. And you're probably, if you're listening to this now, you're thinking, why not? That's great. And I thought it was great. I put myself down as a business relationship specialist, and I asked a friend who was really in the know. I said, isn't that a great title for what I do? And he said, it's a terrible title. You know why? Because the word specialist has the word Cialis in it. Cialis, if you're outside the US listening to this, Cialis is an erectile dysfunction drug, and they spam a lot. And so if you have Robin J, business relationship specialist, or Bob Johnson, leadership specialist, it's going to bounce. Your newsletters are going to bounce. Your press releases are going to bounce. It's very possible you're not going to reach your market with Cialis in the name, even though, the spam filters disregard the SPE and the T. They just see Cialis and they bounce it. So I like expert. I like the word expert or speaker or author, anything other than specialist. And I don't know where you're going to hear that anywhere else. So I love sharing that little tip. And back to the top 3 mistakes that most speakers make. I said number 2 was speakers create and try to sell the wrong products for the wrong reasons. You want to start with the end in mind. Building products to sell is not important. It's mandatory if you're going to make 6 figures as a speaker. And these can cost next to nothing to create. I can show you how. It's really easy to create explosive products that will pay your bills and turn you into a 6-figure speaker. First off, you have to have a reason for creating your product. You have to create it because there's a demand for it, and then share the reason why you created it. Now, this may seem like a quick little tip here, but I'm telling you, this little thing, sharing why you created your product, is huge. In fact, I got a testimonial this week from an attorney in Australia, Catherine Warburton, the legal lioness. And she wrote, she literally changed her landing page to say why she created her program. I created this to save business owners time, effort, money, and stress, and then explained how she does that, how the course does it. She got from the very first person who got the link after she incorporated that tip, she got this wonderful accolade. I'm so glad I've come across you. The more I read, the more I like your style of doing business. It's wonderful to find someone who genuinely has my back as a new startup with big hopes and dreams. So even a small tip like this can make a huge difference. Catherine was so excited, and that was from the free webinar. She bought the course, but I mean, this was just a little tip that she took note of. So let me share why I created this. I want to sign up, become an official speaker with your bureau, send an application, etc. I don't do that. I cherry pick my speakers for the bureau. And then this is a mistake. Like I said, you need a hot topic that you dominate. You can speak on a broad range of subjects, and you can have that on your speaking page on your website. But to market yourself, you really want to dominate a single topic. That's a huge tip. And then speakers looking for more opportunities. I can't tell you how many times I hear from a speaker who says, if you could just get me 4 paid gigs a month, I'd be really happy. And every speaker I tell that to who's been at it a while laughs, because we'd all like 4 more paid gigs every month. But again, when you rely on fee-based gigs, you'll probably starve to death. So on and on and on. This is not the way to do it. You want to be listed with speakers bureaus as part of a successful speaker strategy. Many speakers I hear from are broke or struggling, and that's why that's the main reason why I decided to help speakers monetize their messages. Insider secrets, tip number 5, and this is on your action guide too. You need to create awesome products. Make them something people need, something people want, and something you know a lot about. A book is a great place to start. If I meet a speaker and they don't have a book yet, oh my goodness, that's job 1. Get busy, write a book. It doesn't have to be the second coming of To Kill a Mockingbird or any of the Tony Robbins or Brian Tracy books. It doesn't have to be golden. It just needs to be good and share your knowledge. Just get busy. Write 1,000 words a day. And in 3 months, you'll have 90,000 words. Okay? I mean, it's that easy to write a book. And then you want to create other products that have tremendous value. You can never overshare. There's always something you can share that you know a lot about. This was on the red carpet of my first movie. And I want to touch on how these super successful speakers started earning more than most speakers working today. And you might recognize that's Jack Canfield, Marcy Shimoff, and John Gray on the red carpet at my movie premiere. Well, how did they start? They started with books. Books can make you rich, ultimately, by defining yourself as an expert. It's a great way to start your speaking career and to establish your reputation and build your platform. Jack Canfield wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, and you know his story probably of how he got turned down by more than 100 publishers, and then they finally had someone who believed in them. And then he got tired of sharing the warm, fuzzy stories, so he wrote The Success Principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Best subtitle ever. Marcy Shimoff is the reason Chicken Soup for the Soul became a series. She had the idea to do for the woman's soul, for the mother's soul. And now you have for the cat lover's soul, for the dog lover's soul, for the wine lover's soul, every kind of book. And she also wrote Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason. She's awesome. And then you have John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This book became a phenomenon. It's how we refer to the war between the sexes or the lack of communication between the sexes. They started with books, and today they are all earning 7 figures and more because they established this amazing, outstanding platform. So if you don't have a book yet, get busy. We can learn from the rich and successful. Where you are financially today is the result of what you were doing 5 or 10 years ago. If you're going to become a wealthy speaker, you have to do what the wealthy do. You have to invest in yourself. You've heard that it takes money to make money, but it doesn't have to be your money, right? OPM, other people's money. OBM, other banks' money. It doesn't have to be your money. You just need to invest in yourself to get where you want to go. And this is one of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor. The poor use the power of debt, their credit cards, for instant gratification. They buy things with their credit that cost them money, and these items decrease in value. Like what, you ask? Like big screen TVs, cars. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's not worth what you paid for it. Technology. Maybe you bought an Apple Watch and got home the next day and found out they had 2nd generation now. So you know it's not worth what you paid for it. Jewelry, unless you're buying 4 carats or larger investment diamonds, you know, jewelry, you're never going to get your money back out of it. And the worst thing to spend your credit card on, to use your credit card on, is a vacation. Because a year later, you're still paying interest on a meal you ate in Maui. So you don't want to do this. This is what the poor do, and they end up trapped by their debt. The wealthy, on the other hand, use their credit, their line of credit, their credit cards, their power debt to make money by investing in things that will increase in value, such things as their education, real estate, and the market. Do you see the difference? This is, if you want to become a wealthy speaker, this is the path. Jeff Walker said, no matter what you want to learn, someone has spent a life studying it. Learn from them. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So let me ask you this question. Are you where you think you should be at this point in your speaking career? And if not, are you ready to start earning what you think you're worth and not what someone else has determined, not some meeting planner who's calling you and saying, would you come and speak for $500? We don't have to put up with that as speakers. You can start earning what you think you're worth. You can start living your dream. So this is huge. Insider Secrets tip number 7. Are you ready to change your game? There are 3 types of speakers, and most speakers don't know this. And I was speaking for about 4 years before I knew this. Blew my mind completely. General, public, and paid. So let's look at the differences, okay? General speakers are the more than 18,000 speakers listed with the Washington Speakers Bureau, leading authorities, Kepler's, and all the other speakers bureaus in North America and around the world. It also includes, these speakers are talented, teach, entertain, and motivate. It includes everyone in Toastmasters around the world. Remember, that's Toastmasters International, industry experts, like I said, doctors, engineers, anybody who's done anything. They'll speak for whatever they can get, whenever they can get it. Does that sound like you? Because we need to change your game if it does. They'll often speak for free and to any size audience. Now, it's one thing if you're just starting out, then yes, take advantage of any. When I started in 2004 speaking, I used to be in advertising. So I would go to all the TV stations and radio stations, and I would speak to their sales team, 4, 5, 6, 8 people in a conference room. I got better. I cut my teeth on that. I learned how to really present and how to hold an audience's attention, and I crafted my PowerPoints. Most speakers do have to speak for free for about a year if they don't understand how the industry works. And ask any successful speaker, they'll tell you. We ask them, how long did you speak for free? They'll usually say about a year. They hope to sell the product BOR, back of the room, but they usually don't. And they hope to land that big $10,000 to $20,000 keynote, but they usually don't. Occasionally, a general speaker will get hot with the right message at the right time. There's Larry Winget, who has a TV show. He had a TV show on A&E called Big Spender. He does consulting on some of the news channels about finance. Judson Lapely had the first viral video before we knew it was called a viral video. In fact, I think it was on MySpace before one of his students put it on YouTube for him, called The Evolution of Dance. If you haven't seen it, Google it after we're done here. They get to raise their fee. I talked to Judson before he was on the Today Show, and his fee was $3,000. And after he was on the Today Show, it was more than $10,000, which is like awesome to be able to do that. And I did try to book him a year later, anytime between August and December, and he was booked. I couldn't get him to fly out and do an hour and a half for my client who wanted to pay and had the budget because his schedule was so full. So that's the catch-22. Bureaus will want to book you once you no longer need them to. He just became a sensation. Next up is public speakers. Now, this is probably the most misunderstood type of speaker because we speak in public, so we think we're public speakers. But public speakers are actually famous, well-known speakers. They always keynote. They earn between $15,000 and $100,000 or more each time they speak. They speak to huge audiences because their fee is so high. They use the platform to educate, entertain, and motivate the audience. So it's people like Rudy Giuliani, anyone who's ever served a political office, former governors, news anchors on TV, former Olympians. Mark Spitz was the first Olympian to win 7 gold medals in a single Olympiad. So he is a big speaker today, especially during an Olympic year. Actors and actresses who are too old for leading lady or leading man parts. Sorry, Goldie. They get asked to speak all the time, and they'll make, $25,000 to share some anecdotes about their life in Hollywood. Here's an interesting situation where J.B. Bernstein on the right was played by John Hamm on the left in his movie $1 Million Arm. So J.B. went from being a sports agent or an industry expert to becoming a public speaker because his movie was huge. It went all around the world when he shared his story of $1 Million Arm, the competition he did going to India to find baseball pitchers. Michio Kaku, the physicist, is a guest on all the morning shows and has a show on the Science Channel. And Jack Canfield became a public speaker because of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Everybody knows who he is. So he is recognized and he makes a ton every time he speaks. A ton, that's the official amount. Last up is paid speakers. This is what you want to do, right? Believe it or not, paid speakers are happy to speak for free. I've been alluding to that all so far throughout this webinar. They may even pay you to speak, surprisingly, because they know they're going to make their own payday because they base their presentation on science and psychology. Here's an example of paid speakers. Tony Robbins is the most successful paid speaker ever. He makes more than $9 million a year, has a net worth of more than $500 million. But he's not waiting for me to call him with a paid gig. Do you understand what I'm saying there? Next up is Deepak Chopra, who's worth a mere $80 million. And then you have other speakers like Jack Canfield, Marsha Weeder, Reverend Michael Beckwith, Marcy Shimoff, John Assaraf, John Gray, Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the 4 Agreements, Brian Tracy, who's written more than 50 business books. These speakers write their own ticket. They make their own payday. And I want to get your wheels turning about this. This is how you succeed in the speaking industry. Insider secrets, tip number 8. Most speakers are general speakers trying to fit the role of public speaker. That's why they're not making any money. They never become paid speakers because they don't even know that category exists. And the good news is, now that you know that category exists, I can help you and show you how to become a paid speaker. Insider secrets tip number 9 is regarding the talent factor. Earning $10K per speech is not based on talent. You might be saying, Robin, I'm really great. I'm a great speaker. Audiences love me. I get standing ovations and so on. That's not how you monetize your message. Earning $10,000 per speech is not at all based on talent. Yes, it helps if you're a good presenter, but it's based on a presentation built on science and psychology. This means speaking to your audience's beliefs, paradigms, and subconscious minds. Once you crack this code, you have the keys to the kingdom. That's why I call this the keys to six-figure speaking, because it is such a huge game changer. If you've ever attended a seminar, a presentation, and you've flown to the back of the room to buy the speaker's programs, guess what? They were speaking to your subconscious mind. You're like, you went in there saying, I'm not going to buy anything. And yet somehow they said something that made you want to buy their products. Well, it's not that hard to do once you know how to do it. When I discovered how this works, I took my new knowledge for a sort of test drive. I was invited to speak for free at a NAWBO luncheon, which is the National Association of Women Business Owners. One of my friends was on the board of directors and said, would you please come and speak at our luncheon? So I spoke for free to about 50 people in the audience, mostly women, and I earned more than $6,000 speaking for just 20 minutes. My fee at the time was $5,000. And I was delirious afterwards. I couldn't believe how much money I made speaking for free. I was looking for my next free speaking gig because I knew I could monetize it. So this is a real game changer once you understand the science and psychology of speaking. So if it's that easy, you're thinking, Robin J., if it's that easy, how come most speakers don't understand how easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak? Why? Well, let me tell you why most speakers think earning big bucks for speaking is hard to do. I kind of blame the National Speakers Association. I think most people find it by default. You're a speaker, so you want to belong to an organization for speakers. but more than 95% of their members earn less than $50,000 annually from speaking. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a great living, not in this economy. And if you have a gift and you have a message to share, you should be able to double that easily. They also offer a CSP designation, a Certified Speaking Professional designation. To earn that, a speaker has to show that they've earned more than $50,000 a year for at least 5 of the last 10 years. That's terrible. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You have to give them your pay stubs and you have to get like 20 testimonials. You can go to the NSA page and see what it takes to qualify for a CSP, and your eyes will cross. I'm serious. This leaves out industry experts and other great speakers who don't earn exclusively from speaking, and most every general speaker out there today. So that's one of the biggest challenges, why I think most speakers think it's so hard to succeed as a speaker. I'm telling you, Insider Secrets tip number 11, and that's a tip in itself because I told you I would share 10 tips with you. Here's number 11. It doesn't take a lot of people to earn a lot of money. Getting started, just decide you really want to become a paid speaker. Stop relying on fee-based gigs. Learn more ways to earn what you're worth. Build your platform with proper credibility by creating hot products, marketing, promotion, videos, publicity, and great search engine optimization so you show up on that Google page 1. And discover how to use science and psychology to start earning more right away. You know, I hosted a little event at a Hampton Inn on a Saturday. I spoke for about 4 hours. We broke for lunch. I spoke like 2 hours. We broke for lunch. I had guest speakers. I had 3 guest speakers. One of the girls was a coaching client who had had a stroke. And I know when she stood up there and started to talk, people were like, Robin J. has lost her mind bringing this speaker up. But once she shared her story, she ended up getting a standing ovation. It was great. I had Gloria Loring speak. I had a business development expert talk about social media. And it was from 10 to 4. And I made more than $3,000 just hosting my own little event on a Saturday. It was no big deal. My costs were so minimal. So this is what I want to show you how to do it the right way so you can start making money. And then using science and psychology will really be a game changer. So we're right on time. I hope you've learned more so far than you thought you would. It's surprising to see some of how the speaking industry really works if you didn't know this before. There I am looking surprised. Have you found this to be helpful? I hope so. This is an incredible hour. I think it has been, don't you? If you want to know what else you can do to further your career and start getting paid to speak, type yes in the chat bar. If you're watching this on Replica Replay, say yes out loud. You're sitting at your desk watching this on your tablet or your desktop, and you go, yes, Robin, what else can I do to start getting paid to speak? Okay, I am so excited to share this with you. This is my new program, Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. It's an 8-week crash course that will change your speaking career forever and help you to monetize your speaking career. It includes 4 insane bonuses. Insane bonus number 1, you will get a minimum 2-year listing on the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau website in the convention capital of North America. Remember, I said I look for speakers for these gigs on my website and on my radar. It's more than a $1,500 value. I know when I started speaking, I heard from a bunch of bureaus that they couldn't book you or put you on their bureau unless you were already listed on a bureau. So I paid to be listed on a bureau for a couple of years. So that's where that valuation comes from. There's the Speakers Bureau website. If you haven't been there yet, please go on, sign up for my mailing list. You'll stay up to date and in the know on everything. Insane bonus number 2. You will earn a certified convention speaker designation in 8 weeks without having to earn $50,000 a year for 5 of the last 10 years. You will be able to put this medallion and a CCS after your name. You can use the medallion on your website, on your one sheet, wherever you want to help you get booked for more paid gigs. I think this is priceless. And I deal with a lot of meeting planners all the time. And I believe from what I know about how they go about, they've been disappointed. They booked speakers who they thought were going to be awesome. And then they got there and they really underdelivered. So I think having a CCS after your name, if a gig came down to a meeting planner choosing between you and an expert who had a CCS after their name, I think you have the better chance of getting booked for that gig. So that's priceless. There's the certified convention speaker page on the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau, right under the drop-down menu for book a speaker, which I can't take a screenshot of it because when I do, it goes away. But anyway, you see Brian Tracy's at the top. Jack Canfield's on there. He emailed me the other day. He was so excited to be a CCS speaker. So you would have a listing on the CCS page on the Speakers Bureau website. There's more. Insane bonus number 3. I'm going to share mind-blowing information from my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp where you'll discover how to use science and psychology and see how easy it is to earn $5,000, $10,000 or more in one day as a speaker. Now, I used to sell this for $2,497. I hosted it at my home for a weekend. People would come over on Saturday and Sunday. I had it catered. We had a great time. Well, I have taken all the meat off the bone and focused on the science and psychology of how to present in a different way to increase your sales. Insane bonus number 4, Insider Secrets to Publishing. With support from top literary agent and publisher, I will personally help you with insights and personal recommendations so you can achieve publishing success. I've self-published. I published 3 anthologies. I've contributed to anthologies. I've sold my work to a publisher. I've done it all. This is another priceless value. I will help you get published. I just remember when I started in 2004, just being so overwhelmed. Like people would say, well, are you a publisher or are you a writer? And you're a writer, but you're still going to have books. And, there's so many questions and we answer them all in this online course. So what are people saying about Insider Secrets? Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. This is my favorite testimonial that I've gotten from anybody. Success coach Charles Leon wrote, "You're an absolute genius. I'm infatuated with these modules. Thank you so much for creating this program. It's truly amazing, magnificent. I want to be able to share it with others." He emailed me every week. "Oh my God, Robin, these modules are awesome." Sarah Rainey said, "I now feel I have a roadmap to follow to achieve success as a paid speaker. Each module has a wealth of cutting-edge information that I know I can use. I finally know what I'm doing. I owe it all to you." Billy Arcement, who has a master's in education, said, "I've been around 37 years and have made every mistake you shared. You gave truth and accurate information about the speaking business. Your strategies for creating a successful speaking career provide a great template for anyone who wants to excel in a tough business. I only think it's a tough business if you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I want to help you. And I offer a 100% unconditional money-back guarantee. Remember, I hire speakers. Meeting planners count on me. Insider Secrets contains game-changing modules, including everything you need to become a paid speaker and gain financial freedom. I'll help you develop your unique message and brand. I'll share exactly what you need in a speaker demo video to get you booked. And I can't even book anyone without a demo video anymore. It's crazy. 6 elements you have to have on your speaking website, how to determine your speaking fee and when to raise it, plus how to earn thousands every time you speak. And I offer a 14-day unconditional money-back guarantee. It's an 8-week course. It's incredible. Plus, I have an extra special webinar bonus if you sign up, if you click the Buy Now button during the webinar or within 24 hours after you watch this webinar, email me, robin@lvcsb.com, and I will throw this in. You get a bonus 3-month group coaching call worth $197 a month, which is super great because you're just getting started. You're launching or you're changing how you've been presenting yourself. This will really help you take off. It's a $591 added value. So here's a summary of what you'll get, but I have a really special webinar price for you today, so don't freak out at the numbers. I did originally sell this course for $34.97, and then I had introductory priced at $24.97. I have a better price for you today. You'll get a listing on the lvcsb.com website worth $1,500. You'll get the amazing information from my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp and learn how to present with science and psychology in every presentation. That's worth $24.97. You'll also get a one-on-one strategy session with me, president of the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau. I normally charge $500 for a consultation. You'll get the webinar bonus worth $591. You'll get these other priceless bonuses: insider secrets to publishing, access to special guest experts, which I'll tell you about in just a second. And you'll become a certified convention speaker, which is a designation exclusive to LVCSB speakers. The total value is more than $8,500. Today only. It's not even $34.97. It's not $24.97. I have a special webinar price that includes everything for just $19.97. And I have easy pay, just like QVC. You can make 4 payments of $577 each if you like. And remember, I offer an unconditional money back guarantee. I'm telling you, $19.97 is a drop in the bucket compared to the struggling you can have looking forward if you don't have this information. You can earn more than this the very first time you speak after taking Insider Secrets. Remember, I didn't even have Insider Secrets, just the Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp information alone, and I made more than $6,000 the very first time I used it. Just click the Buy Now button, or I'll put a URL here that you can click. You can go to thepaidspeaker.com, and in just 8 exciting weeks, you will know how to get paid to speak. You'll get listed with the Bureau. You'll earn your certified convention speaker designation. You have questions? I'm accessible. Just email me, robin@lvcsb.com. And because I give so much one-on-one help to the speakers throughout the course, space is limited. So you can get started right now. Let me tell you what else you'll get in the course, because this will really change your life. In Module 1, you'll get more speaker mistakes and the solutions for them, how to avoid them. This is just golden. Everybody loves the first module. The second module is the science and psychology behind earning more every time you speak, where you'll discover the nuggets that will help you earn more by speaking directly to your audience's subconscious minds. I'm telling you, if I had this knowledge when I was in advertising, holy guacamole, I'd be a bazillionaire by now, I think. And I did very well in sales without that, but this is just such a game changer. Module 3 is called Simply Irresistible. Do this to succeed. If you want to succeed, you'll discover what it takes to create irresistible offers, how and when to present so you can close bigger sales more often, more easily, and how to find the decision makers who will book you for paid gigs. Remember, I said being listed and doing fee-based gigs is part of a successful speaker strategy. You just can't rely on it completely. All those meeting planners are listed in one place, believe it or not, and I know where they are. Their presentation skills and thrills, it's so much more than how to create a great PowerPoint, how to create explosive products. It's how to market yourself and reach a global audience with your message, and so much more. This is the online course that will change your life. I have a segment, a module with Deb Herman, who has 11 books that she's written, and their agency, that's her with her husband, Jeff Herman. They've sold more than 1,000 traditional book publishing deals, and they know everything about the ever-changing publishing landscape. We go over everything from author services to self-publishing, micro-publishing, selling your work, finding the very best ways for you to get published that will help you with your success. Module 6 is Insider Secrets to Speaker Marketing. Speaker marketer Gretchen Bruner will share information to help you avoid years of struggling, including how to find those amazing fee-based gigs in your own backyard and online. This is absolutely priceless. Here's more of what you'll get in Insider Secrets. Module 7 is you'll get to meet Bryce Kuhlman, who created Wisdom Robot to help speakers offer their products online, which is a lot like cloning yourself. Imagine being able to work while you sleep. You don't have to do a thing because you already did it. It's priceless, and it's possible. I had someone sell a $1,250 drumming lesson online while he was sleeping. He woke up the next morning and was like, "Are you kidding me? This is crazy." And then you get a live one-on-one with me where I will help you with whatever you're working on at that point, 8 weeks in, helping you develop your topic into a killer branded keynote. Remember, I have 20 years in advertising. I'm pretty good at this. I'll review your product, she said modestly. I'll review your products, your manuscript, your website, your PowerPoints, whatever you're working on at that time. I will really help you personally on your path to six-figure speaking success. And I'll record the call so you can reference it back whenever you like. And again, that's a $500 value. As soon as you sign up, you'll get your first lesson. This offer is only available for the next 24 hours after you watch this webinar. So go to thepaidspeaker.com and claim a better future for yourself today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're right at an hour. This is fabulous. Now, if you want to see what's going to happen when you click the paid speaker, it'll take you to this landing page. This is called a landing page. I'll cover that in the course. And you can see the $2,497 course is on sale for $19.97 or 4 payments of $577. You'll just click add to the cart and you'll be able to fill out all the forms and you'll get an email, an order confirmation immediately, and then you'll get your content. You can start right away. This is so exciting. If you're frustrated or you're not making what you think you should be earning, do this now. You'll get your new content each week, and you'll also have access to your other content. You can go back as often as you want to. You can take the course 15 minutes at a time. Each lesson is broken into several segments. They're all about an hour. The second one, I think, about the nuggets is about an hour and a half. But this is for your convenience. You can study this and figure out, you will understand how to make 6 figures as a speaker. It is such a game changer. Now, you might be able to figure out the speaking industry on your own. I admit it took me a few years and tens of thousands of dollars and running a speakers bureau to figure it all out. So why put yourself through all that when for 8 weeks, I can walk you through it and show you exactly what you need. I have bonuses designed to help you with a complete, comprehensive speaker strategy. Plus, I'm giving you a highly discounted price and the powerful bonuses to make your decisions super easy. I've got a nugget from Napoleon Hill coming up to help you make decisions in just a second. An unconditional money-back guarantee so you can sign up today with confidence. You have nothing to lose. Go to the paid speaker, thepaidspeaker.com. Now, here's Napoleon Hill. He was hired by Andrew Carnegie to find the characteristics of successful people at the time, the captains of industry. And I don't have time to go over all 16 with you, but I have 5 for you right here. The good news is these characteristics of successful people are learned, not anything you're born with. These characteristics include burning desire. If you have a burning desire to become a successful 6-figure speaker, let's do this. Specialized knowledge. Remember, I said you have a message to share. You have something, you know something that no one else knows. Nobody else has experienced what you have. So you have this specialized knowledge. It does take discipline. It's easy, but it takes discipline. I wrote The Art of the Business Lunch on Sundays when I was working 50, 60 hours a week in advertising, and all my friends were out at the pool. So I admit it takes little discipline. It takes strong associations. I am a great associate. I will drop what I'm doing to help you and get you to the next level as long as we know each other. And I will show you how to build and develop other strong associations. And then the last is decisiveness. Decisive people know how to pull the trigger, so to speak. I mean, they know when to say, yes, this is for me. If you ever have trouble making a decision, here are 2 tips that will help you. Ask yourself, will this decision move me closer to my dreams? And is this decision in harmony with what I'm doing? If the answer is yes, there's your answer. Okay, now I got good news and bad news. Out of every 100 people, the bad news is only 10. Only 10 out of every 100 will go on to reach their dreams and gain financial independence. The good news is it could be any one of those 100 people. Again, it has nothing to do with your socioeconomic background, where you grew up. Did your parents love you? Did you have a single parent household? None of that matters. You could grow up in Wisconsin or France, wherever. 10 out of every 100 people will go on to achieve financial independence. It could be any one of them. So the last question I have for you is, will you be one of the people, one of the 10% who will commit to yourself and your speaking career? Because this is your chance to change your future forever. I want you to imagine what it's going to be like when you are successful and you're making 6 figures as a speaker. You'll be so glad when you look back and say, this was the game changer. There we go. Hey, thank you for staying with me till the end. I want to be able to answer any questions you might have. So just put them in the chat bar and let me look and see. Is this all I need? Yes, this is all you need. This is comprehensive. That's the biggest comment I get from everybody, is how comprehensive the course is, how incredible it covers every aspect of speaking. So let me see. Do we have another question here? Can you afford it? That's a really good question. And I want to counter with another question. Can you afford not to? Can you afford not to do this? How much longer are you going to struggle? How many times are you going to speak for free and hope to sell your books in the back of the room? You know, I did a gig where I brought all my books in a suitcase, a wheelboard. I sold everything. I'm a really good speaker. I sold everything I brought. Well, my books cost me 50% from my publisher. And the anthologies, I have about a 60% markup on those. I sold everything. My gross was about $400 or $500, which means my net was about $250. I can't afford to work like that. This is why when I discovered this information, I was blown away. And as I became president of the Speakers Bureau and I came across more and more people struggling, more and more experts, speakers, authors struggling to monetize their message, the answer was clear. I had to create this course because it's not that hard. And I worked so hard for so many years before I learned the secrets. So that's it. We're going to sign off right now. Just go to thepaidspeaker.com. I'll put it on a super here probably. Thepaidspeaker.com. And I look forward to helping you. If you have any questions, email me. I'll put my email here somewhere. lvrobin@lvcsb.com, and just email me your questions. And I look forward to helping you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day today, your busy day, to enjoy Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking.